In the dark of night, a striking woman was pulled over for speeding. Fearful, she pleaded with the officer not to give her a ticket, explaining she had told her husband she was working late. Her words made the officer detect alcohol on her breath, realizing she was also driving under the influence. She then hinted that she would do anything if he let her go. The officer picked up on her suggestion, ordered her out of the car, and frisked her beside a barbed wire fence, pushing her against it unexpectedly. Initially tense, she smiled when his grip loosened, thinking she was off the hook. This seemed plausible, but it was all a role-playing game. Both were cops. The officer, Terry, was a high-ranking official, and the woman, Annie, worked in the evidence room. They had a covert affair, spiced up with Annie's private photo emails through their police inboxes. Meanwhile, a prestigious lawyer named Roy, who usually commuted by boat, was gearing up for a murder case prosecution. Facing him was his striking opponent, defense attorney Jamie. She had bribed the court's guard with donuts to sneak in early and swap all the jurors' pens. Roy witnessed this, but just greeted her because they were old acquaintances. The case revolved around a jewelry designer mysteriously killed in his studio. Evidence pointed to a cleaning worker found with an expensive diamond ring during a home search. These circumstantial pieces of evidence were insufficient for a conviction. Jamie's tactic in switching the pens aimed to hinder the jurors from taking notes, making it easier for them to forget evidence so she could present hers effectively later. Jamie contended that the cleaning worker could explain the ring's presence, claiming he paid the studio to design it. Although the designer's death left no direct testimony, the ring fitting perfectly on the cleaning worker's wife's finger indirectly supported his story. Due to insufficient evidence from both sides, the case was postponed for another hearing. After the trial ended, Terry privately approached the cleaning worker's wife, seemingly to pressure her. Jamie saw this and immediately sensed trouble. She wanted to ask the wife about it, but the woman was too scared to talk. Instead of pressuring her, Jamie sat beside her and shared her own troubled childhood, slowly leading the conversation to the woman's children. This helped the woman relax, and she revealed that Terry had threatened her, offering her husband's freedom in exchange for sexual favors. Jamie wanted to report Terry, but the woman stopped her, fearing the consequences. Jamie understood. Meanwhile, Roy visited his ex-father-in-law's law firm, meeting a representative for the retiring mayor. They wanted to use the mayor's final days in office to get Roy appointed as a prosecutor. Roy was delighted but aimed higher. He mentioned his father, a lifelong prosecutor who was still in debt, and proposed becoming a partner in his ex-father-in-law's firm. Initially surprised, the ex-father-in-law quickly agreed, not wanting to lose such a talented asset. That evening, Jamie secretly met with Roy. Jamie planned to discuss everything inside, but Roy stopped her to avoid suspicion. So they chatted through the window. She shared her day's findings, but Roy thought they were trying to damage the police's reputation. Frustrated, Jamie left.